Hello and welcome to the FasterFreedom Show. My name is Sam.
And I'm Lucas.
Lucas, are you ready to talk about Ryan Reynolds?
I'm ready to rap about Ryan Reynolds. Alliteration. You ever heard of that, Sam?
You have 44 episodes to come up with your rap. We are rapping on
Already got the name of it.
What is it?
250.
250 is the name of the rap?
250.
Okay.
And everything that goes along with 250. I got a theme.
I like it. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. We are live on X right now. We are in X Spaces. We are going live there during our podcast. But if you are listening, this is a recording in YouTube. But we're going to be going live on YouTube next week as well. So if you want to catch us live, audio, X, YouTube for the video, and then the following day will be on all the podcast platforms. What say you about that?
So live, we're going Wednesday only at 1:30. Correct? 1:30 Central Time.
On X and YouTube, yeah.
On X and YouTube, and then we actually obviously have a Friday show as well, and that'll get dropped, the recorded version on all the platforms.
Yep. What's up, Kevin, on X? All right, okay, so today we are going to be talking about Ryan Reynolds, kind of because Deadpool Wolverine was such a big deal, and kind of because the COO of our education company looks like Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. So there's just a lot of, I feel like I'm being pulled, like I feel like the universe is telling me to do an episode on Ryan Reynolds.
I love it, man.
Me and you watched Deadpool Wolverine. Matt looks like Deadpool.
Podcast episode set.
And he's done a lot of really cool things. I've heard about his Aviation Gin and his buying the football or soccer team, whatever you want to call it, over in Europe. But there's a lot more that goes into that. So let's catch everybody up on Ryan Reynolds' story. We're going to talk a little bit about his acting, but mostly about his several businesses that he has bought and sold and owns. And we have an estimated net worth of $350, but I've seen a lot of people say closer to that billion. So he's $350 to $1 billion net worth.
Yeah, probably a lot of stuff that he's in is probably in the early stages and kind of harder to put a valuation on it from like the public eye. But I bet he knows like what they're worth, and yeah, he would probably defend that 350 a little bit if I had to guess. Like Kanye used to. He's like, I'm a billionaire, man.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of people say that about Grant Cardone too, but I think Grant probably is, judging by all his yachts. But anyways, like just for example, like Ryan Reynolds sold 25% of Mint Mobile, and 25% of 135 or 1.35 billion is 330 million. So apparently he netted 330 million from one company.
So obviously his net worth is over that.
Unless that boy's got some spending habits.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he's buying assets and not liabilities. That's what this show is about.
I love it. Yes, that's what we're going to talk about. So Ryan Reynolds has done a really cool thing. He has taken his, obviously he's a smart businessman, but he's taken his brand and his social media and his acting following and his fame, and he has plugged and played that into certain brands, which has helped them grow, which is something that we've talked about doing at a much less level, taking some of our brands and things that we develop and being able to kind of put gasoline on the fire of other companies and brands that we're able to give them immediate influx of cash with our brand, and we're able to get maybe a discount on. It's like a win-win situation where we're able to really capture a lot of that.
Yeah, and I think it's just I think it's what Ryan did, and how we look at it too is we could do this to 1,000 different products or services, and it's just important to us and probably important to Ryan about choosing the right business that you get behind and making sure something you believe in and that you're passionate about it before you just promote some shit service to the world.
Yeah, I can't imagine how many opportunities he gets. Like we get a decent amount. How many opportunities he gets presented? Yeah,
and we're only going to talk about what, 5 or 6 of them. Yeah. So he's probably turned down another 500.
I would guess so for sure. So quickly about Ryan, he started out at like Nickelodeon, I think, back in some TV shows. He was on some decent movies. I remember Van Wilder. Love that movie. Van
Wilder. Was that Tara Reid in that with him?
Yeah, The Proposal.
Yeah, and then also his role in Waiting.
Yes.
He was the main character in Waiting. I was thinking Dane Cook is the
cook. Dane Cook, but yeah.
But Ryan Reynolds is the main dude in that, just like a younger version, kind of like I guess he's still a little vulgar in some of his movies. But
have you seen fucking Deadpool?
I have with you, Sam. You know I've seen it. That was a rhetorical question.
That was. So yes, he's still vulgar and very dry sense of humor.
Yeah,
and apparently very clever.
Very clever.
Yes. So anyway, so he's been in a lot of different movies. He's most well known at this point, definitely for Deadpool. Deadpool 1 broke some records. It was the highest selling movie that year in 2016 or 17 when it came out. And then I think it broke the records for R-rated movie. Then Deadpool 2 I think did similar. And then Deadpool vs. Wolverine, his latest one, has done over $1 billion worldwide. And that was as of like 2 weeks ago.
Was that the biggest Marvel movie or like the second biggest? Did they say?
I don't know, but it's up there. I don't know which one it is, but it is.
Maybe it's behind like one of the Avengers or something, but it is very close, I think.
Yes, and it's not done yet is the other thing. So
Yeah.
I know we got opening weekend, then what they get after. Really good movies have big opening weekends, but then they don't have too much of like a tail down. A lot of movies that aren't as big have big opening weekends that kind of fall off. So anyways, so he has this huge brand. He's, when I think of top of the food chain of Hollywood, I think of like Tom Cruise, Chris Pratt, Brad Pitt, Ryan Reynolds, and like Denzel Washington, and maybe Tom Hanks.
Will
like
Smith,
those are the Mount Rushmore.
Before the slap.
What?
Will Smith maybe before the slap.
Yeah, Will Smith before the slap, and he's trying to make a comeback, but he's definitely not going to be super up there. I don't think ever again. That was a big kind of a boo boo.
Yeah.
But anyways, so yeah, he's top of the A list in my opinion. So he's taken that and he made $20 million for one of his movies, Spirited. He's made $50 million on Netflix. He's made $20, $40, $50 million for the Deadpool. So he's made more than enough money just in acting.
Yeah.
So what I think is cool is he's one of the highest paid actors ever, and he's still doing all this business stuff. So he's obviously not doing it just for the money. He has enough money to live several lifetimes, but he enjoys the business side of it and wants to do more, which we appreciate.
Yeah.
And that's why I like him. Some actors are just actors, and they throw their name on a commercial, and they're the spokesperson for State Farm or something, but he's actually like doing businesses.
Yeah, I think it is a very similar analogy to us. You know, we do things that we love.
Commas.
Yeah, a few less commas. We do some things that we love for our active income, but then we have our investments, which we invest in the future in real estate and stuff that, yeah, we get rental income, but you don't see a lot of that at the end of the day after all your expenses. So I think that's what he's been doing with some of these businesses like Wrexham or whatever. We'll get to it. His football club. There's no way he's like seeing a whole bunch of money from that right now.
Not
you know what I mean?
first,
It's an investment for the future and to grow the valuation of that business. And that's what I think a lot of these are. And I love that mindset.
I like it, and maybe have Gainer look if he's got time. Like what's Wrexham valued worth now? So,
it says it in there, Sammy.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, bottom line.
Oh, good job. He's Shane or Gainer's ahead of it. All right, okay, awesome. So let's kind of go down the list. So, and these aren't in any specific order; they're just what we have them in. So, he got involved in an F1 team called Team Alpine in 2023, including some private equity. By the way, did you see the NFL just approved private equity to own up to 10% of teams now?
Ooh.
So all these owners are going to be selling 10% of their teams to this unlimited fund source and to be able to get a shit ton of cash but still have ownership. So anyways, that was just approved. That's kind of wild.
Yeah, I wonder if you could.
Maybe I should do a short on that. Remind me, Shane.
Yeah, I wonder if you can go into that with private equity. You know, like partner with a private equity team. Us be like the brains, but
We'll
still
give
only
private equity 50 grand.
Still only yeah. Hey, we got skin in the game.
Yes, we do. But anyways, obviously he's into sports a little bit. So his F1 team Alpine, he got into that. That hasn't really, as far as the performance of the team, I guess they were 14th of 17th last season, so that one hadn't done super good. But it's interesting. He's getting into the racing game a little bit.
And I know there's I don't follow it too much besides that one Netflix show. That documentary was amazing, but I know it's big around the world, not huge in the United States, I would
F1?
say. Yeah.
Yeah, he bought $218 million, got him 24% of something.
That's what I'm saying. But to see the money that's involved in this, that team was valued at $218 million.
For 24% of it.
No. I think, no, I bet the whole thing was 218, and he was 24% of the 218.
Maybe.
There's no way it's $1 billion team.
I believe it is that way, that the full deal that he was 24% of
was 218.
Was for 218.
Yeah, so he put up 50-something million.
Yep.
Whatever to acquire a quarter stake in that, which is amazing. So there's some money involved in that.
Yes, when I was in Vegas, they were getting ready for the F1 race out there, and they had to spend $100 million getting ready for that one race.
Yeah.
The entire city had every block that we were going through had stands that were really nice and boxes and suites throughout miles.
Yeah, and there's two
temporary
F1 races in the United States, I believe. Miami, which that would be a wild one in Vegas,
Yeah.
I think.
Both would be pretty wild.
And then the other, however many there are, I don't know if it's 10 or 15 or 20 or 30, something like that, are spread throughout the world. So
Yes.
I think that's pretty cool.
Very cool. I agree. All right, cool. So
And he's probably has a passion
I would
with
assume so,
racing. He probably
because-
just wouldn't jump in and spend $50 million on something that he didn't like care about and believed in.
yeah, 100%. I'm sure he's been able to be involved in a lot of sports clubs, and one of them that was for him not much risk, but he did a lot of cool things with it was Wrexham.
So Wrexham, there's so many different football leagues over in Europe.
Yeah,
and-
they're big into that. Yep.
Yeah, so then there's a lot of different levels.
Mm-hmm.
Like here in the United States, like if you hear about the main sports, you really just hear about the top level.
100%.
Right?
Nothing else.
But it's a lot different over in Europe where there's so many different leagues and levels that are all, pretty successful. And this one's, I think, where the brand comes in play. So he bought Wrexham for $2.5 million, probably just the whole thing.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I probably literally wrote a check for it.
He
Which-
bought it with another actor, so he
Yeah.
owns 50%, I think.
Is that Day? Was it Charlie Day?
No, it's
Or,
the other guy.
Oh, what's
it's,
the
Rob McIntyre or whatever.
That's right. Yeah. And there's a show on that too, as well, which is pretty
It's called
interesting.
Welcome to Wrexham, and it won several awards.
Yeah. I'm sure he produced it or whatever,
Was a
wrote
part
it.
involved in it. Yes.
Yeah. But there's a lot of people, not a lot of people, but a lot of people that could buy a $2.5 million team. Period. Like we could figure that out.
Yeah, we could figure that out with the bank financing, 100%.
But the reason he got that opportunity is because he's Ryan Reynolds, right?
And it blew up his international brand. He's obviously popular in the United States, but the fact that this is such a story, he created a TV show around it, I don't know for sure, but I'd be willing to wager, if that was ever measurable, that Deadpool Wolverine sales over in Europe are several times larger because of this involvement than had he not been involved over there. He's got a huge name over there now. Americans coming by in this European sport doing this. They call it soccer and it's football, but they all love him over there, especially because of the show and what they've done. They've upped a level in the levels of the football programs. They've upped to a whole new league. So they won their league, and then so it's helped his brand, and he got that opportunity because he's Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, and he already 5x the value
Yeah, it's
of
worth
it, almost 5x.
It's worth $11 million.
Worth $11 million now in 4 years, so that's good.
Yes.
What is it? You double your money in 7 years, and that's a good investment. He 5x in 4 years.
And who knows? The fact that it's got so much notoriety could be worth even more. Who knows? And as they keep going and growing.
And not to sound like, I don't know, whatever here, but going from 2.5 to 11, 8.5 million, that's not a lot of money to him.
No.
You know what I mean? So he has bigger goals for this to make this probably a $100 million organization, if I had to guess.
And he's very passionate about it.
Yeah.
And like owning it, and like the couple of things I've seen in Welcome to Wrexham, they're very, very into it.
Yeah.
And it's a cool story, the fact that they won. That's really cool. All right, so this next one, Lucas, it's circled. It's circled because it sounds from my research and Shane's that this is like the next level linchpin. This kind of makes it all work. A lot of his companies is this Maximum Effort. It's a media company and marketing company that does marketing for the companies he owns, as well as bigger companies like Mint Mobile before he owned them, Match, Peloton. So they do like marketing and ads and short form stuff for all of these. So this company does ads and gets their brand put on a ton of different things, and it's vertically aligned. They do it for his companies and his ads and his movies and stuff. So this Maximum Effort company, it seems like it's kind of in the linchpin. And Shane said it might even be like the acquisition company kind of for a lot of what he does.
Yeah, I believe it does some of the acquiring of these businesses that he owns.
So
Love
it's like
that.
if you buy it, you got to use this company. So he's just vertically aligning. You have to pay a marketing company. No, wait, you pay my marketing company if I'm involved in your business. And
Very cool.
And digital marketing companies are very high profit margin, no risk at all, really. It's
Yep.
everybody else's money that you're spending their ad dollars. So it's just your creative and your brand put on it. So done really, really good. That's apparently a huge part of it.
I love that, man.
Cool. All right. And then the next one he's done is Aviation American Gin, owned by a Canadian. He's a Canadian.
He is Canadian.
But it's funny. I just have a line there because it's called Aviation American Gin. which
Oh,
is
that's
kinda
funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Marketing, branding.
But he lives here. He works here.
Yeah, I know.
And Canadian and American, there's not a lot of difference.
No, correct, for
we're
sure.
kind of all one.
Mm-hmm. So cool. So he bought the company. I guess they started in 2006. He bought them in 2018.
Yep.
And got super involved for a couple years. I believe he was like their director of creative or whatever, and was very, very involved. And I don't know what he bought it for, but he sold his the company sold in 2020 for $610 million.
Sold his stake.
His stake.
Yeah, he did not own 100% of that. I believe the original founders still did, which is why it's Aviation American Gin. It's two American guys that started it.
Makes sense.
But he sold his stake for. My guess is he did not buy $600 million worth of it and make $10 million.
No way.
Does it anywhere how much he bought? Is it probably hard to find?
I'll try to take a look.
So he was only involved with that for 2 years and exited for 610. That's a big number, bro. So that, who knows what his ownership percentage was? And the cool thing about this too is like you get to see how like these bigger companies are structured, and they're never owned by one person.
No, goodness, no.
Never. There's so many other, even on the private side, which I think the majority of these are all private. There's some sort of ownership group, and what it shows to me is like, you know, you don't have to have the entire watermelon. You know, a nice slice of it is better than a whole grape, right?
Ooh, get it, bird cat seat.
Yep.
I think it's one of those things where I talk about this a lot on posts and stuff, but like, and it's true, like some of the sayings I put out there are like kind of catchy and they do well, but some of it's like, are they true or not? But like, that does really well is like collaboration over competition. Like you collaborate and you can buy a company versus trying to do it on your own. You can't.
Yeah.
So if you want to win, you have to collaborate with people, not try to compete with them.
For sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Then this next one is, I guess, I don't know how much he got in for the actual Aviation Gin, but Mint Mobile's pretty big one that I think he moved pretty quick. So he purchased 25% of a telecommunications company, and then they sold it to T-Mobile for $1.35 billion.
That's a big number.
25% of $1.35 billion is $333 million.
Nice. So again, would love to see his share in that, but for the reason
why he's not
why
investing more than $50 million in these.
No, I agree. And the reason why he's selling is because he's netting from what his initial investment was, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars more
each time. But the crazy thing is these are all, like, I'm sure he has some that aren't as public that he owns smaller percentage of that haven't hit or sold yet or that have not been winners. But bro, these are big fucking wins.
Yeah.
These aren't like
he's selling to publicly traded companies.
Yeah, these aren't like he put in 10 million and made 15 million. Like he's making hundreds of millions of dollars.
Crazy. I mean, that's what having big money and that active income allows you to do. You just need one of these to go right, and then you can do it again and do it again and continue to multiplying your money and taking bigger and better and more calculated risks to get that big payout.
And he's done it several times.
Yeah,
which is pretty impressive. And of course now he's somewhat involved. Some of these maybe I think some of these like Mint Mobile, Wrexham, Maximum Effort Aviation, I think he's very involved in as far as the process goes. I'm sure not as much on F1 and like this one, Wealth Simple, Wealth Management Services value at $5 billion. He's a investor in that. I would guess that's a little more passive. There's Drake and Michael J. Fox in that one, so I'm sure that one has done well or will do well. But people that have all the money. Ryan Reynolds' money is worth more than our money, even if it's the exact same dollar amount, just because of the brand that comes with it. And so that's what you kind of were alluding to earlier.
The power behind his money hits different.
It's the exact same. A check, we could each write a $20,000 check. His 20 grand is worth a lot more than our 20 grand.
Yeah.
Maybe we could write a 50 grand check. Who knows?
Who knows?
Cool. All right. So 1Password. Talk about 1Password. Walls. Another one of his companies.
Yeah. Tell me about 1Password. I'm not familiar with that one.
It's a password management software, bro. He serves as the face of this company and stars in the commercials. Apparently, haven't seen it, but the company's $6.8 billion.
Wow.
It's got Scarlett Johansson, Chris Evans, Robert Downey, and basically the Avengers all invested in it. Is what we have.
Love it. They probably came to a lunch and learn and just pitched it. And they were like, "I'm in."
Yeah, they're like 50 million, 20 million.
Yeah.
The people
probably raised like 100 million in
all from
10 minutes
on the set of the movie.
Yeah, that's cool, and I think that's important too. I think we've lost our passwords and got scammed and hacked and all that stuff. So I think that type of stuff is important and valuable to businesses in particular, or the type of companies that probably use that. Not an individual, but maybe it's an individual basis too.
Yeah.
How many passwords do you have saved?
So many.
100?
So many, yeah.
Yeah, and it's hard to keep track of, and just
Very
keeping it
hard
on
to
a
keep track.
Google, Word doc like I used to is probably not the best way.
Yeah, for sure. No, passwords are a pain in the butt. I saw a video from this couple I like on Instagram, John, and I don't remember her name, but they'd do like parodies of them too, and like they were like trying to remember their Netflix password. And she was like trying to remember, she couldn't remember, she kept trying, then she was like, record time we got in 37 minutes, and she's like, did I write it down? Nope.
No.
You know,
Yeah.
just figure it out next
Exactly.
time again. So yeah, the passwords are a pain in the butt. But these companies, I mean, whether he owns 1%, 5%, 0.5%, 10%, 6.8 billion, 1.35 billion, Wealthsimple 5 billion. That's a lot of freaking money.
Yeah.
Thanks for everybody on Spaces. I see we're talking about Ryan Reynolds' businesses right now. So thanks for being here, y'all. But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, and kind of how it relates to real estate. You know, go make your money in something that you love doing, whether it's a day job or, you know, your side hustle, whatever it is. Make a bunch of money, but don't spend it all. Take a portion of that money and dump it into other assets. What we love to dump it into is real estate. Period. We love real estate. It's going to appreciate. You get so many other benefits, and yeah, I think that would, if he loved real estate, that's what he would be doing.
Yeah,
You
I
know what
bet
mean?
he owns some real estate. But yes,
Yeah.
no, I mean, we want to grow and do real estate, love it, but like things like this would be good to get into.
Yeah.
as well.
Oh yeah. They're both great.
Yeah, and he's I was just thinking his like the Wolverine and Deadpool Wolverine like interviews are super super funny. There's I saw one, I guess his wife Blake Lively was like in a movie and like has a lover in like the movie.
Yeah.
Did you see that one?
Yeah, I
And
did.
like he like sits down and they're obviously acting with the guy's like, oh, he starts to ask
gosh.
him about his
He's like, this right here. Can you explain this? And the front of the picture is like this actor's arm around Blake Lively, but the back of the picture is this male actor's ass.
Yeah.
And he's like, how do you explain this? How do you get it that
the
tight?
guy's like, why are you
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's somebody who's comfortable in their own skin.
Yeah,
and
for
comfortable
sure.
in their relationship, which is
Yeah.
cool. All right, and then Nuvei, Nuvei, is a Canadian fintech company. Value again, 4.6 billion. So
big
even
number,
if
man.
he's not going to be saying involved if he owns a 0.25%, like
Yeah.
probably 5% or something. But there's like billions of ownership involvement in here. How 350 million is a joke as far as my concern. What he's actually worth.
Yeah, and another example of, you know, our money is worth less than his money, even if it's the exact same amount. They're going to give him a bigger ownership percentage
Because
for
of
the
it.
same check because he's Ryan
He gets
Reynolds.
a discount.
Exactly, where we would have to overpay
Yeah.
and
They're
to be a part of these
like,
people.
we'll give you 5 million. Ryan's like, I'll be like, we'll give you 5 million for 5%.
Yep.
Ryan's like, I'll give you 50K for 10%. They're like, okay,
Yes,
we'll take the 50K.
exactly.
Yeah. Damn you, Ryan.
Damn you, Ryan. Good for you, but damn you.
Yes. So, anyways, he's super diversified with a lot of different things. He can make any movie he wants at this point. He's just doing things that he wants to and has passion for, hence the Wolverine. And I know I've heard it with a lot of him and Channing Tatum with that, what's that character?
Gambit.
Gambit. Like he's gonna really push for that to become a movie and be involved in that. And
His accent was awesome in
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Deadpool's like, what are you? I don't even know what he's saying. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. But anyways, yeah, there's a lot of really cool things going on. I mean, like people in Hollywood look up to him, which people in Hollywood don't look up to many people. So that's pretty cool.
No, I'm just other A-listers usually.
But like they're all looking at. I mean, none of them have this kind of thing going on in the
Yeah,
background.
pretty cool.
This is impressive, and I bet this isn't even all of it.
Yeah, impressive. So to me, like just going through the numbers, he's worth way more than 350 million.
Like how much of this $4.6 billion fintech company, like
Right.
he's got at least 50 million in that 100 million,
At
maybe
least, yeah,
probably more.
Yeah, that's only like 1%.
Yeah, and then these other companies, Wealthsimple, and so fintech, one password, and Wealthsimple, that's like almost 20 billion.
Yeah.
17 billion.
Yeah. So that means he only owns
Like less than 1% of
yeah,
those.
yeah, which is that's not even talking about these other businesses that he
Because
already
every other
exited.
business that is sold, he's been owning like 25% of. So
Yeah.
that's probably like what he should. Not all of them, but yeah. Anyways, just get darker here.
Yeah.
Okay. Like we're like outside and the clouds came over the sun. All right, cool. All right, so yeah, diversification is super, super important. I think he's used his brand and his extra excess income. Like we kind of talked a little bit about this for those that follow the show. We started like this investment company. Our goal was to kind of take our extra income and rather than invest it poorly or have it sit in the bank, do something with it. And he's obviously done that at a very, very high level. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's no way he has that much time to be super involved in all
For
this
sure.
stuff. So he's
for
got
sure.
people
He's
on
a
his team.
family man.
He is.
Yeah.
He is, I think, as much as you can be at that level. I'm sure
Yep.
he spends a lot of time with his family. So,
Yep.
yeah, pretty cool stuff. All right, so this is what we like to talk about. We talk business and real estate, so make sure you're following the show. If you're not, share this, whatever platform you're watching on, whether it's YouTube or whether it's one of the podcast platforms. Make sure to like, rate, and review this and share this with a friend. You ready to get into real or fake?
Let's do it.
All right, real or fake. Lucas, Pink, the singer, buys 2 French bulldogs, names them climate change and global warming.
Ooh, I would say that's real.
I think that's real, too. That's real?
It is fake.
Oh, what is there any? Is it completely false or just a tweak in it?
I cooked that one up myself.
Nice.
Whoa, that was a good original.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good one. All right, you stumped us there. Get the next one.
All right. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson catches a giant fish while singing a country classic. I would say real.
I'm going to say fake.
It is real.
Yeah.
Do we have the video?
I don't have the video,
Okay.
but it is real. It's
I know
true.
I know he fishes a lot in his pond, and
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah. So he's always like pulling out lunkers. So, but
Probably
the-
stocked it with these, like, he went
Yeah,
to like,
oh,
an
yeah.
aquarium and
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
bought
They're
like $1,000
huge.
fishes that just
and
in there.
he's like he barely holds him. He's like almost a little afraid of him. It's kind of funny seeing like Rock like.
But they can't look, they got to be huge if they look
they're
big next to him.
They're big, man.
But think about me holding that and him holding
It's
that.
a beautiful spot. Like I think he has a really cool property somewhere. I have no idea where it is, but it's this huge lake, rolling hills, no other houses around. I'm like
And
just living
if
it. He's
he-
usually shirtless, just
yeah,
pulling
well,
out these
I've
lunkers like
seen him with
barely
his shirt off
holding.
more than his shirt on.
Yeah, good point.
He's going to the Vault, whatever conference that PBD's putting on him, see if he has a shirt on or not. But
Hope
anyway.
not, because that boy is fine.
He is yacked. Yeah, heavy. That's probably not very heavy for him to hold. The
Yeah.
fish.
Can you
Probably
just,
like he's on.
maybe he doesn't want to hurt him.
Well, yeah, he's
Gonna smash his jaw if he squeezes him.
he could. All right, Lucas. Sweaty corn is making it even more humid. Sweaty corn is
Humid.
making it even more humid. I don't know if I understand that one.
So, like corn that
corn
is getting
that's-
grown because it's like getting close to being. When does that get harvested? Like towards a little closer to
Pretty soon now.
into fall.
Yeah,
it's,
I mean-
it's like right before Halloween, isn't it?
It's probably like September, October timeframe.
Yeah, so it's getting to the point where it's getting ready to harvest, and I guess it's moisture is coming out of this corn, and it's making the climate more humid. I don't think so. I'm gonna say fake.
I'm gonna say true.
It is true. It's a true
Headline, at
story.
least.
Yeah, yeah, headline. So, but yeah, it's true. But you said true. It's real or fake. I screwed that one up. But yeah,
I think we do every time.
yes, I think so.
real. Real.
Real. Less like cows are farting and causing global warming.
Yeah, that's a real headline.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I guess it's real too. I would assume. I don't know. Can't really believe much you hear on the internet these days, except for the FasterFreedom Show.
Yes, we spit facts.
We do.
Fast.
All right, riddle Lucas.
Fast facts.
I'm gonna make Lucas look really riddle me
boy.
this.
Oh boy, I haven't even looked at these.
All right, Jane and Bob have 4 daughters. Each of their daughters has 1 brother. How many children do Jane and Bob have in total?
5.
You got it.
Boom. Because it could read like 8.
8, but
Yeah, but yeah, I get it. I get it. Boom!
Lucas, there's people listening. That's obnoxious.
I
All
just
right.
say that's a win for me.
The Lone Ranger rode into town on Friday.
Uh-oh.
He stayed for 5 days and left that Friday. How could this be?
What? Say that again.
The Lone Ranger rode into town on Friday.
Ranger.
He stayed for 5 days and left that Friday. How could that be?
The Lone Ranger, like on a horse? Was he on a horse? Does that matter?
Yeah.
It matters.
Mm-hmm.
Lone Ranger rode into town on a Friday. He stayed for 5 days and left that Friday. I have no idea.
The horse's name is Friday.
Ah,
You put A where it wasn't. The Lone Ranger rode into town on Friday, not a
I
Friday.
gotcha. Yep, that makes sense.
Loser!
It's fair. It's fair. It's not a.
It's not, you're not throwing a flag?
No,
I
no,
throw
that's
flags
fair.
almost everyone I get wrong, I try to throw a flag
Oh
on.
yeah.
All right, ready?
Yep.
You have a barrel full of water. Good for you, Lucas.
A barrel.
What do you add to the barrel to make it lighter?
A straw.
A hole? Would a straw make the barrel lighter?
Yeah, if you drink it.
Well, you didn't say that.
Well, yeah, we're just step one.
Half.
Half for sure, because the
Not
straw
for
is kind
sure.
of a
That
hole.
was very generous of me. Not for sure.
No, for sure. I wouldn't even say all of it, because a hole. I mean, it is a hole.
But you're making it heavier.
What if you put a straw on the side? You need the hole first.
Yeah, you didn't say hole. You said straw.
Yeah.
So you went step 2.
Straw is a hole. Is it one hole or 2 holes? So
2 holes. We talked about this.
depends how long the straw is.
Yes. Go. True, false.
All right, true, false for you. Now it's your turn to look stupid.
Oh gosh, you can't do this kind of stuff to actually make me look stupid.
All right, yeah. All right, good point. All right, number 1, the currency used in France is called. This is gonna make me look stupid too because I don't even know how to pronounce this.
Franc.
Franc. F-R-A-N-K.
Maybe it is, but I'm pretty sure they're the euros over there. So I'm gonna say false.
False. They do use the euro. You're so smart.
Boom.
You're so smart.
I know it's called the franc too. Boom.
What is it? What is a franc then? Where do they use that?
Maybe used to use it before they all euroized.
A France?
Before the European Union.
A franc?
I'm a cultured American.
I believe that's correct.
All right. Number 2, Albert Einstein was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics for the theory of relativity.
I don't know. I think that sounds almost too obvious. I did watch Oppenheimer recently. I know he's won a Nobel Prize, I think, or maybe it's like a thing he hasn't. So I'm just going to go with my gut and say false.
You are correct. He was awarded the Nobel Prize, but it was for his explanation of the photoelectric effect. Is that how you pronounce that? Photoelectric?
Yep.
I don't know. It's not on my
So
screen.
theory of relativity, I think he was a big part of that, though, right? But maybe that's not what his Nobel Prize was for.
Yeah,
Yep.
Maybe that was, yeah, cool. All right, last one, number 3. Sound travels faster in air than in water.
Faster, huh? Because it does travel in water, and there's sonar in water. Does the sonar faster than like a sound wave? I don't know. But like obviously you got the sonar water with like the submarines and the animals that do that shit. And then, yes, that's how they sound. Sound travels faster in air than water. I'm going to say false.
You are correct. It is false. Travels faster in water than air. I would have said air for sure. It just feels like too
You're not
dense.
as fucking smart as me, so
That's
obviously
true. Not on
you'd say
two,
that. I
true or
went 3
false.
for 3.
Yeah, these are so hard.
They were hard. You didn't even know Frank. You know how to say the word Frank.
Well, I think I knew euro. So, but yeah, I don't know how to say the word franc because it's not a currency anymore.
All right, I like it. Motivational quote: "Real estate will expose the mediocrity in your life." Kaola.
Ooh, that's deep.
That's deep. You don't know anything about that. I'll have my headphones in. Have my audio been good? I haven't had them.
Yeah, you sound good.
All right.
So what does that mean to you, Sam?
That means
it means like you. Oh man, like you learn so much, and it's like a transformation of your life, and to elevate yourself as a person, as a leader, as a business, and then you kind of realize after you go through that transformation that everything else that was in your life before doesn't matter, or what does that mean to you? That there's
I
a
think
lot
it
to
means
that.
you think you're doing good, and you think you're building wealth by making $80,000 a year at a job and having $100,000 in your IRA or 401k. But when you get in real estate, you see how mediocre that lifestyle is and how much real estate can accelerate what you're doing.
I think that's what he was going for
think
there.
that's what he was going for?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was taking that too.
I
a
was
little
checking
deeper
our
level.
X spaces that went out for some reason, so I didn't even hear your explanation. But yeah, who knows?
All
Who
right.
knows? Cool.